Today's guest is a visionary leader who has built and led a company at the forefront of large-scale AI innovation, helping enterprises grow and succeed across the globe. His company's AI-powered products are trusted by leading enterprises in the telecommunications and financial services sectors worldwide. We are delighted to have with us Vinod V. Vasudevan, CEO of Flytxt. Flytext's groundbreaking work has been recognized with multiple international awards with decades of experience, including his role as Senior Vice President and Head of Integrated Services at Reliance Communications. Vinod brings deep insights, bold ideas, and a unique perspective to today's conversation. Please join us in welcoming Vinod V. Vasudevan to Techzila.
Being in neural network from the very early days. And now, if all of a sudden generic, different versions of AI all over. But being very early into this business and the AI era. So back in 2000, you see that this is coming. So what was your look like? What was your vision that time?
Okay, so it's an interesting question. So when we started Flytxt, we spent the first almost a year plus scanning the market, scanning the horizon, looking at the research, looking at the state of the art to understand if there are ready-made technologies that we could use. So we knew where AI was staying at that point of time. The major focus of AI, if you look back at that time and even today, was largely to look at computer vision, speech, understanding text, natural language, etc. So basically, the human perception and speech and language understanding, vision, hearing, speech, those were the focus of research that time. We picked up a problem which was on a business domain, and we wanted to optimize outcomes for businesses. So we adopted artificial intelligence and machine learning, AI/ML as you call it, as a technology that would help us do this, given a variety of reasons like this large volume of customer data. Your problem is to make some insights from this data, from the insights to drive actions. So very much like how a human expert would take decisions and actions in a particular situation. So we knew that we were looking at problem solving and not at speech or language recognition. That's very important, don't get me wrong. And so we decided from the very beginning to focus on a broad class of techniques called causal reasoning, which goes beyond say LLMs, what you have today. So that's how we picked up on this area. So if you say large language models, they are, you can think of them like the speech and language processing part of the human brain. So you can understand natural language, you can reproduce your answers, you can understand everything, and you can once you can understand and speak in a particular language, you can hold a good conversation in that language with anybody on any topic.
Correct.
But to get deeper into some specific topics and get into a problem-solving approach in a particular area as a specialist, that's where I think our problem-solving part of our brain kicks in. It's a different part.
Deep thinking.
So that is the place where Flytxt technology and AI focuses on. So in language learning, speech and language, or in large language models, it is correlations that drive the learning. You tend to correlate with different things. Whereas in the problem-solving part, it's about causal reasoning. What causes what if kind of situations. To put it in a more different way, see, we are speaking in English.
Correct.
But if you ask me to write down the grammar rules of English, I wouldn't be able to do it, because I'm learning it from correlations and associations. I'm not learning it from a rule-based or given the logic behind it. That's not how I have learned to read or write or speak English. Whereas when you come to actually solving problems, then you need to be able to reason out what is causing what. So recently there was a famous statement or a quote by, I think, Meta's AI chief, if I'm not mistaken. He was saying that, look, I don't care about LLMs anymore, or I don't focus on LLMs anymore. LLMs answer physics questions by memorizing physics, not by understanding physics.
Right.
This was something I read somewhere in that context. So we go beyond that into say. So we decided consciously that we are not in that space. We are in the space where you want to understand why something is happening and how that can drive certain results that you want to drive in a particular context. And that context is the marketplace efficiency that we are focusing on. So in a sense, it is the after LLMs, companies and people will look forward to AI that can do causal reasoning, explainability, and learn continuously. And Flytech is positioned in that space. This is what we have focused on building out as a technology in this area.
And you're helping more than 80 plus customers around the world.
So what we apply this for is we work with we create products, software products using this technology, and we supply 2 products in the marketplace and in the market. So both the products are aimed at helping enterprises optimize their marketplace. So when I say that, you think of a telecom customer. You have got millions of customers. You have got hundreds of products and that you offer to those customers. And how do you identify the inherent inefficiencies? How do you identify missed revenue opportunities? How do you identify points of customer dissatisfaction? How do you identify places where you are losing profits chasing something else? So and then once you can identify that these are the areas, what should be the things you do to recover that as much as possible? And then how do you execute those actions? For example, if you say that, look, I see that in my product catalog, I don't have a product suitable for a particular segment of my customers. That's one step of the thing. So if you don't have a product suitable, then what do? Okay, you define a new product if that's what you plan to do, or you want to change one of the existing products. Then the question is, how do you change it? Actually, you have to implement the change. So this whole thing is what is done by our AI platform, our AI technology and the software, and it's an agentic AI platform. An agentic AI a solution that composes multiple AI agents that together sort of do this whole reasoning, planning, decision, and execution of that whole activity to help a enterprise drive outcomes. Now, because as I mentioned earlier, we're doing causal reasoning, and we're not going with simple patterns or associations with a solid if-then-else reasoning behind it. Causality is understood. We can practically guarantee outcomes for the enterprises, and because of that, customers they see results coming out almost from the beginning, and then it improves over time because of the continuous learning. And we have got a unique learning engine called federated learning engine, which basically combines the learning from all across the different markets and different use cases to sort of think of it like saying that you are not hiring a fresh off the market person. You're hiring an expert who has the expertise and experience across various markets and use cases. And we build this while ensuring data privacy. So we don't take anybody's data or we don't combine any data. They all stay with the customers. It's like saying that you send 3 people to study in 3 universities. And then when you put all those 3 people back, that's our AI that learns in these different markets, and that AI can now talk to each other and combine the learnings. So you take 3 people who went to 3 universities and studied, and then put them in the room, and they will exchange notes and they'll learn from each other.
Right.
But they don't take the university courses,
Exactly.
or they don't take the university's library back with them. The professor's library and the courses stay at those specific universities only. So that's how we maintain this. And because of this, our customers get results from day one, and the continuous learning ensures that it improves for them over time. And it's practically guaranteed. Everybody gets the desired outcomes.
Okay.
The most obvious application area is the marketplace where you are supplying products and services to customers. It could also be where you are dealing with your employees. In all these areas, Flytxt AI has proven to be a very successful tool, and the one that delivers efficiencies which cannot be got otherwise. So some of the examples where we can. AI is not equal to LLMs.
For example, somebody is looking for marketing and they're already expert in some other area. Okay. And you're bringing all the knowledge, so your AI infrastructure to solve their problems.
Yeah, they see it. As again, I mentioned, the most obvious application area is the marketplace where you are supplying products and services to customers. It could also be where you are dealing with your employees.
Exactly.
Because their efficiencies is equally important or more important for an organization. It could also be with your machines, where you got a set of, you got a large number. Let's think of a hospital. There's a lot of mission critical machines out there, the healthcare field, right? So there are machines will have faults in them. There are machines are going to get faulty, and then what happens if a fault is faulty machines? Which one should you prioritize? Which fault should you fix first? When we hear all these horror stories about the scanning machines or the cath labs not being operational for months and weeks in the government hospitals here.
It's about they're dealing with large, heavily used equipments, mission critical equipments, especially for example in healthcare.
Yeah, I was referring to the point where our AI and the software products built around that AI applies. It's not only in marketplaces where you are selling products and services. It can be in HR, where you are dealing with your employees, and employees' productivity you want to maximize or optimize, employee satisfaction you want to optimize, and then, or it could even be in a case of machinery that you have. I mean, think of a hospital where you got so much mission critical equipment out there, and equipments go wrong. There are faults happening. So how do you even identify which faults should be, attended to first? Which ones are going to create the massive disruption? I mean, maybe it's a machine where you are actually going and doing your blood test coupons. That's going to be more critical because almost every procedure nowadays requires a blood test to be done. So that is a complex decision-making process, so that you can optimize your resources and make maximum out of it. In all these areas, Flytxt AI has proven to be a very successful tool, and the one that delivers efficiencies which cannot be got otherwise. So some of the examples where where our technology has worked across customers.
Okay, great. I think this kind of intelligence can be used in automation as well. For example, real intelligence, for example, in the packing, you're selecting the different set of packings or combinations. Yes. For example, in Amazon, they are doing automation.
Yeah, there is the packing logistics. In fact, while developing our technology in our basic algorithms in Netherlands, we had also applied it for the logistics part, where the courier services are distributing packets across different routes, and so how to pack the vehicles and how to identify the right routes, and so that the maximum efficiency is there. But we don't. I mean, as a business, we have not yet launched products in that domain. The products we have launched are basically in the domain of marketing, products and services, employee engagement, employee experience, and employee satisfaction on the HR side, on equipments, monitoring and optimization efficiencies there. Maybe going forward, we will look at other areas. At the moment, we are focused very much on this conglomerate side, telecom, banking, financial institutions, and travel transportation, particularly the airline industry.
Okay. Including the fleet operation?
No, it's more on the customer facing and products, because airlines are going into unbundled services nowadays. So how do you how do you encourage customers to identify the right services they need and purchase those services, as well as pricing and product bundling, etc. on that customer and product area.
So you are
And
helping the business to identify the right trend. Based on that, they can launch a
right
product.
trend. They can launch products. They can recommend the right products to the right customers. They can segment their customers and point them to right services and products. I mean, for instance, here you have airlines like Indigo now. You can buy a basic ticket. You can buy more add-ons. You can have a priority boarding, fast forward. You can buy that separately. There are airlines offering lounge access, which is a separate add-on to the ticket. So there are various combinations that, and then how do you effectively give it to your customers? And loyalty management is another area, which is basically associated to the marketplace, where we have a product that we support.
We'll continue with the discussion about the AI. The new version of AI is getting popular, that people want to learn everything from the AI, but sometimes AI can go very wrong, to give you a wrong answer, don't even connect to the real world. So how do you see this is a real opportunity, or is it something, new awareness system? For example, when the internet boom, the social media boom, now is the AI is getting boom. So people are used to it. Now they also realize the downside of it.
So, AI today, when you talk about the boom, it is all related to, say, ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini. So that is just one type of AI. They all are built around large language models, and large language models are essentially help you understand speech and talk to you back, and generate speech and all those, or text, natural language interactions, perception, speech, language processing, etc. And ChatGPT and others is built around that as a conversational activity. Now, they are designed to generate pleasing outputs. They're called generative AI. We hear about them having created nice poetry, or giving you the right answers, or creating nice pictures. They go wrong in that too. But all of these are, are trained on internet data, generally available information. So the accuracy of the data is also suspect. There was a famous example of Gemini being asked to create pictures of World War II Nazi soldiers, and it basically came up with black women and men, which is totally incorrect. But that's the hallucination effect. So they're extremely useful. There are a lot of tasks you can do with it, and I think people and businesses will gain a lot of efficiency by using the LLM-based ChatGPTs or other LLM-based technologies. But they will hit a limit. They will have hallucination, and soon enterprises will also realize that, look, for complex problem-solving activity, you will need something beyond, over and above this, and that's what Flytech focuses on. I would also want to stress the point that the AI is not equal to LLMs. LLMs are one type of an AI. There are various other technologies and techniques available. Today there are things called liquid networks, which are much smaller than LLMs. There are recurrent networks, or there are other techniques, like we follow the causal reasoning, and there is we ensure explainability and continuous learning. So AI will continue to be a powerful tool for us. Certainly certain jobs will get affected by AI coming in, but it will also create new opportunities. Like any technology coming in, you will lose certain professions. With automobiles coming in, we don't see any more of bullock carts or hand pull carts. So those jobs are lost, but other jobs come in. So I think it's an evolution. But AI will continue to be a powerful tool, of which LLMs is just one set of tools. There will be new technologies and tools that will be coming up in the future, and will also be needed by the businesses as we go along. So that's how I see it. Our team has participated in multiple international competitions and won against other large companies also who participated there, like Google, Microsoft, etc. There's a large number of these international awards. That's a validation of our technology, where against what they see in the same space globally. User, every business that is using LLMs today, as a potential customer for us in the near future.
This is one of the key value proposition the Flytech coming into when you're coming into global level. So you're already there in the industry for a long time. Now you already scale in more than 50 plus countries. And how do you place yourself in the global level and as a global AI company?
We, from the very beginning, our objective was to build AI that is globally leading, but built locally. So we have established research labs at the institutions that are globally leading, like as I mentioned earlier, IIT Delhi and TNO in Netherlands. And there are multiple ways we validate our technology globally. Of course, by supplying it to customers, and their feedback and the results that we produce for them is a validation. But those are validations you cannot often talk about in the public domain. We also engage with international research industry bodies, analysts, research communities, and position our products and place our products and technology in front of them and to see how the reactions are. For instance, we have more than 12 patents that we have got for our technology. So our research has led to so many patents, and that basically means those are unique contributions that we have, innovations that we have developed. Our team has participated in multiple international competitions and won against other large companies also who participated there, like Google, Microsoft, etc. Our team has published their research in various international journals. Maybe again more than a dozen publications we have in that area. We have been given global awards by analyst bodies and international research organizations like Gartner. If I talk about the most recent ones, Gartner has included us in their Magic Quadrant in the most recent 2 consecutive years. Frost and Sullivan has given selected us as the AI Company of the Year in customer experience. There was another award we won recently at a financial services event entity. There's a large number of these international awards. That's a validation of our technology, where against what they see in the same space globally. So that's how we keep ourselves reassured that what we are developing is at the cutting edge globally.
Okay, that's great. And now getting into the next level. Okay, so what are you planning to do? What are the new product line you're planning to launch, and which direction this company is moving from this particular place?
So I think if I take a look at the future, we would get into additional industry sectors in a measured way.
Okay.
Right now, the focus is on telecom, banking, and financial services, and we have picked up travel and transportation as the next one. And we would, in a measured way, we will expand the industries that we are going to. But within the industries, we will do multiple use cases, whether it's HR or whether it is in the marketplace, whether it is in the infrastructure, technology infrastructure management activities, etc. If I were to look at from a slightly more abstract perspective, every business that is using an LLM today, that is seeing a benefit from an LLM today, will need the next level of problem solving capability.
Right.
And that is where Flytxt technology is squarely positioned. So we look at every user, every business that is using LLMs today as a potential customer for us in the near future. And we will progressively address most of those sectors. That is it.
I think the AI awareness in the current era, that is really scaling up the landscape for you guys to getting the next level, because you're already there in the next level.
Absolutely. So, 10 years ago, if you went and spoke about AI to most businesses, they didn't even know it. I mean, in fact, today everybody understands AI.
Yes.
And everybody is using it for some task or other. And once you start successfully using it for one task, then you would want to use it for, then you will know where the limits are. And some of those limitations, most of those limitations are where Flytech technology can help. So that's what we see as the future happening. But we will address this future. We will continue building up our capabilities in Trivandrum to address these future opportunities.
That's most interesting. But you are building your team and capability within India and reaching out the global.
We have, our entire team is based in India except for customer facing and the sales and customer facing activities. And of course, we do research in Netherlands and in Delhi.
So unlike the cost saving factor when coming to India, but here you are actually building a niche technology with a core talent and building and maintaining within the same region. So this is something somewhat very different.
Yeah. So see, we are a product business. So as a product business, we are not talking about very large teams like services industry. So any cost saving is incidental. That's not cannot be a major driving factor for us. But it's a strategic advantage for us, where the vast, the large number of skilled resources available, from which we can pick and choose and find out the right resources and build out the organization. Now, we are not the only ones who are doing it. There are some very large global technology companies who build products in India. And their ability to build products in India has been sometimes called out as the strategic advantage. So, without naming the specific industries, there was a large European telecommunications equipment vendor versus another Asian telecommunications equipment vendor. When the European telco equipment vendor CEO was once asked a question as to, okay, what's sort of pulling you down versus this other competition in the market, he said, look, I have got 2,500 people in my R&D team. The Asian company, they have 12,000 odd people in just their R&D center in India. So that's the difference. It's a strategic advantage to have research and development centers in India for product businesses.
Okay, right.
So you see it. And we are glad, we are very proud that we've been able to build this cutting edge technology based product, the next generation of AI ML solutions out of Trivandrum, which is serving large enterprises. And as you rightly pointed out earlier, it's not just about it's a globally leading technology in AI ML. It is enterprise class software products and delivered with the right processes and privacy and security and guaranteeing outcomes. That's my most
interesting thing, because everybody is looking for ROI. So you can see right in front of you.
Absolutely. We provide causal reasoning AI to guarantee outcomes for our customers. And that's ingrained in every one of our employees. And that's what that's a success I would say I personally feel most proud about, having built a platform for my team to perform.
Thanks, Vinod. Thanks for your time. So before we winding up, so what do you want to give your advice to the people who are following your same path, building an AI company from the tech space, especially in Trivandrum or India?
Thank you, Vinu. It's a tall ask to give advice to people, but advice is, my advice would be saying that you need to have patience, you need to stay focused, and above all, realize that building out a business is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Thank you.